Yo, what is up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here, continuing to cook up this NBA action. Y'all know we do on the Jam Session. We cook up every single game, every single day, man. We smashed our play of the day yesterday with the Indiana Pacers. We also went 3-0 on the Jam Session yesterday. Hey, we're heating up at the right time, and we're trying to keep that momentum rolling forward. If you're rocking with me, rock with me, man. I'm active on Twitter all day. Link for that in the description. And, of course, I got premium plays over at the site. Best thing to do, in my opinion, hop on a 3-day pass, man. You get every single play that I released this weekend, every single sport. Best deal out there, in my opinion, man. Hop on a 3-day pass. I got longer packages as well, 7-day, 30-day, monthly, yearly, seasonal. We're heating up right now. We're in that mode. We're trying to keep the momentum rolling forward. So scoop all that up over at Pickdawgz Premium. I appreciate each and every one of you guys watching this video. Let's make some money on this money-making Friday. Let's stay red hot. And without further ado, let's hop right into tonight's NBA action. First game up, we got the Philadelphia 76ers out on the road facing the Detroit Pistons. Pistons getting 8.5 points at the crib. Hey, like I said last game, I'm not in a complete rush to fade the Philadelphia 76ers, but this is the spot here to fade the Philadelphia 76ers. Teams don't go undefeated ATS all season. We know that. And I definitely think they're head and shoulders the better team. They're definitely way better than the Detroit Pistons. But they're coming off of a long homestand. They just played 5 straight games at home, the Philadelphia 76ers. Now they're finally heading back out on the road. They just won in their last game, a huge emotional game over the Celtics, you know, the team that put them out of the postseason last year. It just feels to me like a typical fall flat spot here for the Philadelphia 76ers. This feels like a parlay buster tonight for me for the Philadelphia 76ers. I think they win. I think they're head and shoulders a better team. But I think we see the Pistons that we've seen lose a ton of games this season compete just like we've seen them do in plenty of games this season. We're getting a bundle of points here. We're getting them at home, home dogs. Sixers in a bad spot coming in. I'm going to take a shot here with the Detroit Pistons. I think they keep this game competitive. Philly wins it, but I think they fail to cover for the first time this year. Give me the Pistons, Cade Cunningham, Monty Williams, and company. I think Jalen Duren's back in this game too, which is huge for this Pistons team. Really helps them out down low. Think he'll challenge Embiid a little bit. I'm taking the Pistons plus the points to start our night. Next game up, we got the Charlotte Hornets out on the road facing the Washington Wizards. Wizards at the crib, laying basically a bucket, 1.5, 2 points, depending on your book. We just saw this game the other night, 2 nights ago to be exact. It was in Charlotte. Washington went in there and blew the doors off of Charlotte. Took them boys behind the woodshed. 132-116 was the final score. That day, we took the over, 239.5, I believe it was that day. They scored 248. As you see, this total has ticked up a little more points here in this game. Still think it's too low. Over again for me here, Charlotte, Washington. I think they both get up into the 120s. What do I think when I think of these two teams? Offense, 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 offense. Defense is damn near non-existent. Volumes type scores. LaMelo, Gordon Hayward, Terry Rozier. On the other side, Jordan Poole, Kyle Kuzma, Sasser. Like, these are teams trying to put the ball in the basket, just trying to outscore the other team. Defense is damn near an afterthought. Think we get both up into the 120s again. Another high-scoring game. If I were to lean to our side, it would be Washington. Hell, they just blew the doors off them in Charlotte. They should come back home and do it, but I'm not overly in love with it. This is a 50-50 type game, in my opinion. Anything can happen here. But what I do think we can bank on is scoring. I like the over, 242.5. Washington, Charlotte. Next game up, we got the Brooklyn Nets out on the road facing the Boston Celtics. Celtics laying double digits at the crib in this one, laying 10.5. Interesting game here, man. The Nets, they've been a money maker for us thus far this season. 7-0-1 against the number. We have cashed on them damn near every single day. But I think tonight's the night to hop off, man. I think tonight's a terrible spot for the Nets. Here's why. A, they're banged up. Nick Claxton out. Cam Thomas out. I think that's the biggest piece of them all. Cam averaging, what, 30? What's he averaging? Let me see. 28. Damn near 30. Hey, I don't know if they can overcome that on the road tonight. Also, Ben Simmons probably won't play, and Cameron Johnson probably won't play. Those are 4 key guys for the Nets. I just think this is a bad spot for them. They also just played 3 straight home games. Now they travel out on the road, going up against a Boston Celtics team in a bounce-back spot as they've lost their last 2 games. They just played 4 of their last 5 out on the road, coming back home. I see this as a bounce-back spot for the Celtics in a meaningful game against a team who they quite honestly have beat up on the last few seasons, especially last year. I went back and looked. The Celtics won 3 of the 4 last year. In those 3 wins, all 3 were double digits. I want to say 10, 11, and then a huge blowout win. It just sets up as a spot where, like Mitch says, the Celtics come home, beat up on a team that they're just flat out better than, playing to the crowd, doing all the extra at home. I think that's what we see tonight, man. I think the Celtics win this game by 15-plus points. I think it's a bad spot for the Nets. We're going to bet the Nets a ton this year. We've already done so. We're going to make a ton of money on them. But I think tonight's the night we hop off the train. I'm taking the Celtics, laying the points with Boston, in Boston. I think they win it comfortably. Next game up, we got the New Orleans Pelicans out on the road facing the Houston Rockets. Rockets home favorites in this one, laying 2.5 at the crib. Hey, on a normal day, the Pelicans are head and shoulders better than the Houston Rockets. Problem is, what is always the problem with the Pelicans? They can never, and I mean never, stay healthy. Like, this team is always banged up, and they're severely banged up in this one tonight. No Jose Alvarado. Of course, C.J. McCollum's still out. Zion Williamson, game-time decision. Herbert Jones, game-time decision. Najee Marshall, game-time decision. Who the hell playing tonight for the Pelicans? I understand why the line is where it's at. The Pelicans have also been straight ass here recently. 123-105 loss to Atlanta. Went out on the road, got their doors blown off by the Denver Chicken Nuggets, 134-116. And Minnesota blew their doors off as well, 122-101. Pelicans not playing well right now. They're banged up. The vibes in that franchise don't seem to be at a high level right now. Zion missed a game last game. I get it. Birth of his child. But, hey, I don't know. I'm not liking the vibes in New Orleans is basically what I'm saying. On the other side, we got the Rockets hooping. They've won 4 straight. All 4 have been at the crib. They're comfortable at home. What is this going to be? Their 6th straight home game? So, hey. We've seen this with the Pacers. They hooped in their homestand. We saw it with the Sixers. They hooped in their homestand. Teams are hooping in their little homestands to begin the year. I think the Rockets keep it going. I think the Pelicans continue to ass it up. Short, sweet, simple. For the first time this year, man, I like the Rockets. I think they stack another win. I think the Rockets actually, believe it or not, go on a 5-game win streak. Rockets laying at 2.5 or straight up money line for me here in this one. Next game up, we got the Utah Jazz out on the road facing the Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies home favorites, laying 4.5 at the crib. Hey, it's one of the worst games on tonight. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Here's my thoughts. A, we've already seen the Utah Jazz beat up on the Grizzlies once this season. It was about 9 days ago, and it was in Utah. But the final score in that game was 133-109, Jazz win. I'm not laying points with bad teams. Short, sweet, simple, and that's what the Grizzlies are. I've told y'all that all season. I'm not getting off that horse. The Grizzlies are a bad team, and laying points with bad teams, you're asking to get your money took, in my opinion. So, what do I say in these type games? A 50-50 type game, which I think this is. I would, A, attack the plus money. The Jazz, we've already seen them beat them once. Why can't they do it again? And we're getting plus money to take them. I would probably do that. Or B, I would grab the points in my back pocket. Or C, leave the game alone in its entirety. I think those are your best 3 options here in this game. I'm not laying points with the Grizzlies. Short, sweet, simple. They're terrible. They're bad. They're not the Grizzlies from last year. It's weird. The Grizzlies were very profitable home ATS last year. The Jazz were very profitable road ATS last year, but both teams thus far this season are straight ass. And I ain't overcomplicating this one. Lean towards the Jazz. One of my least favorite games on tonight. Probably won't have a bet in this one. Next game up, man, we got the Minnesota Timberwolves, a.k.a. the House of Disappointment, out on the road, laying 6.5 on the San Antonio Spurs. Hey, I do understand why the line is where it's at. Let me explain. Hey, the Timberwolves, hats off to you boys, man. You boys been hooping. It started with blowing the doors off the defending champions at the crib, 110-89. Beat up on the Nuggets in that one. Then beat up on a bad team like they're supposed to. Took the Utah Jazz behind the woodshed, 123-95. Another really solid win, man. Beat the Boston Celtics at the crib, 114-109. Went to OT, but they did get it done, and then blew the doors off another bad team in the Pelicans, 122-101. Shout out to T-Wolves, man. 4 straight wins, 4 straight games of standing on business, and 4 straight games of covering the point spread. The problem is, what have they done on the road this season? They've lost both their road games straight up. Started with a road loss in Toronto to begin the season, and Atlanta blew their doors off in Atlanta, 127-113. Hats off to Minnesota. You guys have showed me that you guys will hoop at the crib, and I will give you credit for that. But I cannot lay points with the T-Wolves out on the road, a team that is yet to at least win a game out on the road. It just doesn't seem like a great spot to do that. I think this is a great bounce-back spot for the San Antonio Spurs. Hey, I know they just got their doors blown off as well in 2 straight games. The Knicks beat up on them in Madison Square Garden, 126-105, and Indiana took them way behind the woodshed, 152-111. We faded San Antonio in both those games, but I think it's time to get on them here at home. I think they come back home crowd, a little comfortable. I just see this as a competitive game. I think San Antonio matches up well with Minnesota. Until Minnesota comes out here and wins a game out on the road, I don't want to lay points with them out on the road. That's where they've struggled. I think San Antonio can keep this game competitive. Short, sweet, simple for me, man. I'm continuing to fade the house of disappointment. I'm going to take the Spurs plus a 6.5. Minnesota has been hoping, but I can see this as a flat spot out on the road. Give me the Spurs plus the points. Here it is. Next game up, man, we got the Los Angeles Clippers out on the road facing my favorite team, the Dallas Mavericks, man. Mavs laying 2.5 as a small home favorite. Short, sweet, simple. Everybody knows. Taking the Mavs. I'm laying the points in this one. Hey, if you don't want to take the Mavs, don't take the Mavs. I understand they busted up a lot of parlays the other night, losing to the Raptors. They busted up mine as well, in all honesty. But I'm here to tell you guys what I'm betting, what I think in these games. And if you don't like it, fade me. Do it. But I like the Mavs tonight, and it's really don't even got nothing to do with the Mavs. This is really a fade of the Clippers. That's what this mainly has something to do with. I've been fading the Clippers for most of the season. And I told you guys, as soon as they got James Harden, I look to fade this team damn near every night. And I'm going to continue to do that. It just so happens they're playing my favorite team tonight. So it's more so a fade of the Clippers. What have we seen from them thus far this season? They've been terrible out on the road, have yet to even win a road game. They've yet to win a game out on the road. Now they're small road favorites in this one. Stop it. There's a lot of Clippers hype out there. People think this team is going to get it together. I am not one of those. I think there's too many egos in the locker room, or like Ruffalo said the other day on the morning show, too many chefs in the kitchen, not enough ingredients. I just don't see it working. I don't. Lost to the Knicks in their first outing, 111-97. Got their doors blown off, really. And then just lost to Brooklyn out on the road as well, 100-93. This is a fade of the Clippers. I have not liked it. I will continue to fade them. On the other side, the Mavs, I want to see if Derek Lively plays. He's a huge piece of this team. Young rookie, but has such a huge impact on this team. That's what the Mavs were lacking most of last season, a true center, and he is that. He did not play last game, and that played a huge part in why they lost to the Toronto Raptors. We didn't find out he wasn't going to play until a couple hours before tip, So that's what I'll say. Watch the injury report. If Derek Lively plays, I'm 1,000% on the Mavs. I would really love to play in that instance. It's not one of my top plays today. If you're buying packages or anything like that, you don't got to worry. Mavs not in there. But I really do like the Mavs tonight if Derek Lively plays. I will continue to fade the Los Angeles Clippers until this team wakes up and shows me anything. And we already know. We've seen Luka bink, 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 step back three on the Clippers plenty of times. I think he gets them again. I think of all teams in the NBA, the 2 teams that the Mavs probably dislike the most, A would probably be Phoenix, and then a close B would be the Los Angeles Clippers, like right behind that. Remember, these 2 teams have played in the playoff series, I want to say 2 of the last 4 seasons. These 2 teams don't like each other. I think the Mavs are the better team, playing the better basketball right now. I'm continuing to fade the Clippers. I'm taking my favorite team tonight. If you want to fade me, fade me. If you want to fade the Mavs, fade them. But hey, just remember, you betting on the Clippers. Next game up, we got the Lake Show out on the road facing the Phoenix Suns. Suns laying 4.5 points at the crib. LeBron James versus Kevin Durant part 2 for this season. The Lakers did win the first meeting this year, 100-95. It's a tough game, though. There's still a lot of news up in the air. Anthony Davis is a game-time decision for tonight. Devin Booker, 9 times out of 10, will not play. And Bradley Beal, still a game-time decision. In my mind, this is a 50-50 type game. And you already know what I'm about to say after that. In 50-50 type games, I would A, rather have the points in my back pocket, or B, attack the plus money. It's just how I see it. The Suns have started to play better. Beat up on the Detroit Pistons out on the road, 120-106. And then they did beat Chicago in their last one. Tight game. Did end up with the dub, though, 116-115. The Lakers, they've been on a little road trip, and they have not looked good out there. The Orlando Magic blew their doors off, 120-101. They did compete with Miami, covered in the game, but end up losing, lost by 1. And then we know it just happened in the last one. The Houston Rockets really took them boys behind the woodshed, 128-294. Tough game. Not one of my favorite games on tonight. Again, if I were to play it, though, with right now currently still a lot of news up in the air, I would wait for the news. But if I were to play this game, I would A, have the points in my back pocket, or B, attack the plus money, because in my mind, this is a 50-50 type game. So that's my thoughts here in this one. In our last and final matchup of the night, man, we got one of our favorite money-making teams, the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies, laying 2.5 out on the road on the Sacramento Kings. I do understand why the line is where it's at. I still think it's still a little light, man. Of course, short, sweet, simple. I'm taking the Thunder. I'm laying the 2.5. In my mind, this line should be what? Thunder -5, Thunder -4.5. I still think they're underrated, man. The books still have not caught up to how good the Thunder Buddies are. And we're going to continue to punish them for that. We're laying the points with the Thunder in this one. The Kings, they're still with the De'Aaron Fox, which I think is kind of eerie similar to Tyrese Halliburton. He's the engine, the motor, the tires, the windshield wipers. He's the guy that scores the rock, sets it up everything. This team just does not look the same without him. It's basically all I try to get across to you guys when I make that comparison. We just saw them lose back-to-back on the road to Houston. One of them, they got their doors blown off, lost to Golden State out on the road, and barely edged past the Portland Trailblazers in their last game. I think the Thunder are just flat out the better team, playing the better basketball, have the better player, and I think this line should be 4.5, 5. Here at 2.5, short line, I am going to lay it with the Thunder Buddies. The one reason why I can see this line and why it is short is the Thunder are coming off a pretty significant homestand. They just played, 5 or 6 straight games at home, so it's going to be their first road game in quite some time. Again, though, I still think they're the better team, playing the better basketball, not overcomplicating this one. I love betting the Thunder. They've been good for our pocketbook thus far this season, 6-2 ATS. I think they make it 7-2. I think they win this game comfortably. Thunder Buddies for life. I'm going to lay the points with them here in our last final matchup of the night. And that's going to conclude this episode of my NBA Jam session. As always, I appreciate every last one of you guys watching this video. Smash that like button for your guy, man. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you rocking with me, rock with me, man. I'm active on Twitter all day. Link for that in the description. You can follow me there. And, of course, I got premium plays over at the site. Hey, we lucky been hot. Back end of this week, man. Let's keep it rolling. We smacked our play of the day yesterday. We're trying to go for 3 straight on that play today. You can scoop it up. I absolutely love today's play. The best thing to do, though, instead of just hopping on the top play, hop on a 3-day pass, man. When you do that, you get every play that I release for the entire weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Every sport, not just NBA. We've been red hot in the NFL. Had a winner there last night. Of course, we got college football, college hoops, NHL. We got a lot of things going on right now. Get every play that I release, including all my NBA. Hop on a 3-day pass or 7-day, 30-day, monthly, yearly, seasonal. However you want to do it at Pickdawgz Premium, you can do it. Of course, I still got the All Access Club. All Access Club having a really good week as well. If you want that, you know what to do. Let's make some money on a Friday. Let's keep this momentum rolling forward into the weekend. Let's stay hot, man. Let's stay hot. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs. Let's make some money tonight. See y'all soon. I'm out of here. Peace.